WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
The longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now, here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow. You know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Alongside Lucas DeSangro. Twitch back in the house.
Yeah. Wow, this is starting to be like a pattern. I keep saying, I'll be back, and then I miss a week because something gets in the way. Life gets in the way.
It's okay. You're emulating The Rock. Oh, don't worry. I'll be back all the time. And then that doesn't happen.
Well, I make more appearances than The Rock, but that's...
This is... Okay, that is true. I'll give you that. Alongside Lucas DeSangro, I'm Fearon Derry or Fearon Daisy or Fearon Burgundy or... I don't know who the hell I am anymore.
He's got so many aliases.
so many aliases.
He's going to be on the...
I'm like my own witness protection.
He's going to be on like the CIA's watch list at some point just because... Why does he have so many aliases? I'm just on the radio, man. Like,
yeah, I'm on radio and wrestling, brah.
Take it easy. Huh?
Take it easy.
Tranquilo.
Oh. No, that'll come up around 12:38 when we talk about the Broken Goblet Brewery.
Calm down.
No. That's not Tranquilo. No, that's something else.
Calm down, Fearon. Calm down. Turning into Twitch Kensington over here.
Twitch Kensington. Idiot. Anyway, yeah, we're keeping the mood light here as we try to do because I've got some not so good news to kind of lead things off with. For those who may have missed it over the course of the week, although I don't imagine how you could have, this is news that I didn't think I'd be announcing this soon, but WWE Hall of Famer Jimmy Superfly Snuka passing away this past Sunday at the age of 73. Snuka, of course, has had his lengthy issues as far as health in general. The battle of, I believe, with stomach cancer is what we reported back in early December, and
he was given
6 months to live, and that lo and behold, fast forward 6 weeks, and he ends up passing away. Snuka, of course, having a storied career in professional wrestling, made notable by his first WWF run from 1982 to 1985. Defining moment in his career, the cage match against then Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, because that's what it was called back then. Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. I know, a little... I mean, of course, there were a lot of them, or the greatest Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of all time.
He's the honky-tonk man.
Yes, but in this case, well before them, there was Don Morocco, and Snuka took on Morocco and lost the title match in that cage match. But after the match, dragging Morocco back to the ring and delivering that Superfly splash off the top of the 15-foot-high steel cage.
WWE math, but yeah.
Well, I mean, back then it might... Okay, so it was 14 feet high.
Sorry. I couldn't... It wasn't that like the thing, it wasn't actually 15 feet. It's just like... never mind, I'm sorry. Not the time.
No, there's no such thing as hyperbole in professional wrestling. Oh, not at all.
Oh, definitely not. The world's largest athlete.
Is that the sound of me winking that you can hear out there?
The ninth wonder of the world.
Hey, leave China out of this.
Okay.
Well...
hyperbole.
That wasn't hyperbole.
Well, in that case, yes, she was. Sorry.
Because there were the 7 wonders of the world, the actual...
Andre was the 8th wonder.
And that's why she was the 9th.
Yeah.
See, that's pure counting. Yes, the more you know. Good job.
Right, Canada sucks.
As a Canadian, I would like to apologize on the part of...
I would too. I was quoting
DeSangro.
Family Guy. I should have disclaimered it.
And you didn't. Anyway, the dive off of the Superfly splash off the top of the 15-foot-high steel cage, a moment responsible for the Sandman, Bubba Ray Dudley, Tommy Dreamer, and Mick Foley, all of whom were in attendance to pursue wrestling careers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all there that night, and that was the moment that made them say, I want to be a professional wrestler.
Yeah, there's always that. It's always that catalyst. There's always that catalyst. It's funny because like I posted this on Facebook a couple, I think 2 weeks ago or a week ago that you and I were there for Wrestling with Disaster in Philly, and I think you were with me because somebody asked me to like run a bottle of water over to Jimmy Snuka, and of course I'm like, yeah, sure. Just a smiling 15-year-old kid with a bleep-eating grin, and well, the only thing that's really changed is my age. Let's be completely honest. But
yeah, that grin still is definitely covered with what was eaten. Yes.
But it's fun. He asked me what my name was, if I was in school, what I wanted to do after, and I told him I wanted to be a wrestler, and he said,
Yeah, because what 15-year-olds aren't in school? Stay in school, kids.
He said, "Go for it, brother," and
go for it. You have.
Yeah, it's because back then it was awesome, but now it just means a lot more. Like one of my favorite Snuka moments, at least from modern memory, was when he was at the Royal Rumble in 2008, and then Roddy Piper.
Get into that.
Yeah, when Roddy Piper came out like right afterwards. But one of my other favorite parts is like Punk is in the background, and Punk's favorite wrestler was Roddy Piper, and he's like hanging on the second rope, just like with the same
grin,
bleep-eating grin.
Yeah.
And then Piper pokes Snuka in the eyes, and he just loses it. It was a
mark-out moment.
For a mark-out moment. I marked out for that mark-out moment, yeah.
Yes, and of course that feud between Piper and Snuka, very well noted, courtesy of June of '84. Seeing that signature moment on the Piper's Pit interview segment where Piper hitting Snuka on the back of the head with a coconut. Oof. Coconuts don't have a lot of give.
They're like boxing rings. Probably worse in terms of give.
Well, they do give a nice sound when you clamp the two together. But no, don't you dare. I know where you were going there.
Message for you, sir.
Yes, for those Monty Python fans out there, got to have a little bit of fun with that. But the feud would continue into the first WrestleMania, where Snuka would accompany Hulk Hogan and Mr. T in their main event tag match against Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Snuka would leave the WWF in July of '85, right at the boom of Hulkamania. Something that kind of had me scratching my head, and was in Vern Gagne's American Wrestling Alliance, or AWA, from '86 until early '89.
Ooh. Then where was he from there afterwards?
He returned to the WWF at WrestleMania 5, making an appearance, and then spent the next few years putting over rising younger stars, including making his in-ring pay-per-view debut, losing at SummerSlam '89 to Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, by countout.
Because that's young talent?
Well, at that point he was.
All right, I'll give it. My bad. I keep forgetting how long DiBiase. When I think of DiBiase, for some reason, I still think he was like I just think Hulkamania era. So but that was all.
Well, '89 was
Hulkamania.
Yeah. He was still kind of suffering from the post-Hogan lull after feuding with Hogan in early '88, and kind of getting knocked a few pegs down on the card. That was pretty much what happened to anybody who faced Hogan. He suffered from it. Savage suffered from it. Earthquake.
Well, I don't know about
Bundy.
Sid. Bundy. Yep.
Sid and Hogan were gone by the time. Warrior beat him, but it just didn't quite
pan out the way it was supposed to.
Exactly. So
Turns out when you load the rocket ship with fuel, you got to fuel it with the right fuel.
Yeah, you don't want to put
diesel in just a regular tank, In an
unleaded tank, yes.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen before. It's not fun.
Maybe not for the person driving.
No, it's just it's not fun for the person who's got to clean it out, because you have to completely flush out the tank when that happens.
Okay, then probably not.
Yeah, it doesn't go well. Anyway, also getting pinned by Mr. Perfect at the '89 Survivor Series. Yeah, the Rude Brood against Roddy's Rowdies, as you remember.
Rude Brood. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, that was what? Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, and the Fabulous Rougeaus against Piper. Oddly enough, Piper and Snuka teaming together. Amazing what a difference 5 years will make.
I mean, hey,
the enemy
of my enemy is my friend.
Exactly. And the Bushwhackers.
Oh, the Kiwi Crushers.
Yes.
Because we can't say.
Yeah, I know. I was like, my eyes went wide as saucers for that quarter of a second, because I thought you were going to say something else.
Yeah, no, I would not do that.
Also lasting 17 minutes before being eliminated at the 1990 Royal Rumble by eventual winner Hulk Hogan. Snuka also losing in singles action to Rick Rude at WrestleMania 6. And would also go on to become the first victim of The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak at WrestleMania 7.
It's funny. I was thinking about that Thursday night at training because for some reason, Punishment, or somebody at the factory. Mm-hmm. If we can edit this for the post show, because I'm sure he's not listening live. Somebody was wearing a Big Evil sweatshirt. Like the Big Evil logo from. So I'm trying to. I went through the list of all of Undertaker's opponents, and I can't remember who he faced at WrestleMania 2000. I'm thinking it was Big Show, but I don't know. It wasn't Big Show because he was in the main event.
That was one of the 2 years that was skipped in the Mania streak.
Really?
Yeah, he also wasn't at WrestleMania 10.
Well, I know that too. Oh, okay then. Wow.
No wonder you're racking your brain.
Well, no, I can look it up.
Nobody.
I can look it up. You don't have to look it up. You can continue carrying the show like a boss.
That, I'm noting the time on, is going to be a drop going forward.
And that is absolutely perfect.
Indeed. Snuka would make before making sporadic appearances in the WWF and WWE, he would go from after 91 to Eastern Championship Wrestling in 92 to become the first ECW heavyweight champion that would go on to become Extreme Championship Wrestling. And then notable pay-per-view appearances would include the 96 Survivor Series, along with a debuting Rocky Maivia with his Chia Pet haircut. As well as the aforementioned 2008 Royal Rumble and WrestleMania 25 in 2009, part of the Legends against Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Where, once again, Snuka and Piper would team up along with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Who stole that match, I must say.
Without question.
Steamboat stole the match. It was not Mickey Rourke and his weird cowboy-esque getup. Although it was pretty cool when he tried to punch out Chris Jericho, but not as cool when you find out that was sort of a shoot towards the end.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. Because well, that's a story for another time.
Yes, exactly. Lots of stories for other times.
I'm
here.
becoming self-aware. It's good.
Yeah, it only took you almost 4 years.
Hey. Gently does it. You know, it's slow and steady wins the race.
Rome wasn't built in a day, that whole thing. Yep.
But it could be destroyed in one, so, you know.
On behalf of, I'd like to apologize to the city of Rome for
Nero playing his fiddle while everything burned. But sorry.
Brother Nero had nothing to do with that.
No, not Brother Nero. Emperor Nero, who is also obsolete.
Oh, goodness, you are incorrigible. All right.
Yeah.
So yes, a long career that had some overshadowings, I'd say, that kind of came out to the general public in more recent years. It would be wrong of me to not at least bring that up because we have been talking about it for a while. The case that went very cold for a while and then heated up over the course of the last couple of years regarding the death of his girlfriend, Nancy Argentino, back in 1983. Some people would argue that because of those whispered tones back in the 80s might have been why, at the peak of Hulkamania, when money could have been made all over the place, that Snuka left for the AWA for that Hulkamania period.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say.
It is hard to say, but you couldn't imply it because it's one of those things, I'm sure he knew what was going to happen.
We don't know.
Well, yeah, but it's also like I'm sure he knew what was going to happen. With Hulkamania, him being like, "No, brother, I'm going over." So he went, "All right, brother, peace."
And he just kind of got out of the way and didn't want to be in that intercontinental feud with guys like Savage and Valentine and Piper.
Because I'm sure he wanted to be
Valentine.
I'm sure he wanted to be a heavyweight champion.
Honky Tonk Man, etc.
Yeah, I'm sure he wanted to be a heavyweight champion because he was of that caliber. A lot of guys were. It's sad.
That was the era. That was kind of how things worked.
How many guys were world heavyweight champions in other promotions that weren't in WWF at the time? Wasn't Perfect a heavyweight champion?
In the AWA, yeah.
Yeah. What about was DiBiase? No, DiBiase. Was DiBiase?
I know he was doing a lot of stuff, I want to say, in Mid-South Wrestling.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. A lot of the stars from all these different territories were your mid-carders in the Hulkamania era. That's how good the talent pool was.
Yeah, true.
It was like an all-star roster, essentially.
Yeah.
And that was Vince was doing. He was just plucking the top stars from all these different territories. But, yeah, I know. Enough of the history lesson in that regard. We're going to have a history lesson of a different kind coming up here on the show in honor of our new president, Donald J. Trump. We're going to look back at the long and storied history between Donald Trump and WWE.
It's going to be huge. Oh, wow. I'm surprised I was able to go that long.
Phrasing. Anyway, let me give.
Oh, wait, no, it's your show.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
fired.
You can't fire me from my own show. Now,
I don't know.
El
Paul Heyman in
El
2006.
Jefe Roberto, on the other hand, that may be a whole nother story.
I was going to say McMahon did it to Heyman in 2006. So,
yeah, I suppose.
Allegedly. Because I still want a job there.
Careful. Yeah, careful now. Let me tell you about our friends over at George's Cards and Collectibles. They've got another signing coming up for 2017. This one, though, is for the hockey heads.
Ooh.
You know, you hockey hosers out there as well. Sticking with the Flyers' 50th anniversary, former Flyer and NHL Hall of Famer Bill Barber will appear at George's Neshaminy Mall location on Saturday, February 4th from 3 to 4 p.m. Yeah. Now, George's has 3 locations for all of your cards and collectibles needs, including their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, in the Willow Grove Park Mall on the second level near Macy's in Tivana, and in the Neshaminy Mall in the movie theater wing. For more information, go to georgescollectibles.com and follow George's Cards and Collectibles on Facebook. That way you don't miss out on appearances like this past Sunday with former WWE and TNA star Victoria, also known as Tara.
Yeah. She's another one. I was going over, underrated female superstars that back in WWE that were sort of at least for me, that were overshadowed by, because I go back and watch the network now and I get to appreciate how good some of these women were. Victoria was definitely one of them. Michelle McCool, yeah. Just a fun fact.
Yeah, fun little factoid. Yeah. All right, also on the other side, we'll get to the look at the local scene courtesy of Ed from Northeast Philly, and we'll have room for your calls as well, 215-949-3232 or toll free at 888-922-2149. And, we'll also talk, I was going to say, a bit of a robbery that occurred in WWE. We'll let you know what occurred with that, as well as a notable Hall of Fame announcement. Definitely big news on that.
Oh, it's true.
It is true. And not to mention also, we'll talk a little UK championship and
Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne and all. I will be the Mike Tenay for this one because I watch a lot of WCPW.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to check out this past weekend's tournament.
It's really
this
good.
is where you get to be the international correspondent,
Mike
Lucas
Tenay.
DeSangro.
Mike Tenay, yeah. Twitch Tenay. Yeah.
Twitch Tenay.
Because he would always cover the Japanese wrestlers and all that because he knows his stuff. Not saying that I know stuff on the level of Mike Tenay, but, in terms of this situation, just about.
Wow, how about that? And we'll also get to the Facebook fan page as well, Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 AM WBCB, where things are already buzzing here, and we'll see what we can do to get those things started. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
It's the fastest hour on radio. Independence Blue Cross presents Bill Clement's Hockey World. That's me. We're live from Chickies and Pete's Wednesdays at 6 p.m. right here on 1490 WBCB.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former Major League pitcher. I'm here to tell you about the Endoscopy Center at St. Mary, a state-of-the-art ambulatory care center that has been serving the greater Philadelphia community since 2006. It is also where I chose to have a colonoscopy. I believe in preventative health care. The highly trained physicians and staff at the Endoscopy Center at St. Mary made sure that my experience went smoothly. Take control of your health and visit the Endoscopy Center at St. Mary. Call 215-750-7700 to set up an appointment and tell them Tommy Green sent you. It is time you look inside.
With so many things that you need to do and want to experience, saving money has never been more important. That's why AARP Pennsylvania is helping families like yours make the most of what they have. We provide financial tools and resources, calculators and expert advice, and access to discounts. Just a few of the ways AARP Pennsylvania helps you and your family save real money, because saving money never gets old. AARP Pennsylvania, real possibilities. Go to aarp.org/PA to start saving today. Real Possibilities is a trademark of AARP.
Are you curious what old antiques, collectibles, or household contents are worth? Listen Friday mornings from 9 to 10 a.m. for What's It Worth with Mike the Appraiser, right here on 1490 WBCB.
Brain, spine, and back disorders are life-changing, often leaving you alone to seek answers only to be rushed through an assembly line office. The compassionate doctors at Princeton Brain and Spine Care have a mission. It's their duty and goal to treat your condition with the care that you deserve and with the care that you need to get better. At Princeton Brain and Spine Care, your quality of life is their best reward. Visit them online at PrincetonBrainandSpine.com or call 215-741-3141.
Got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so we might have to...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
Breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. Gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com alongside the part-time player, Lucas DeSangro.
I'm trying
Part-time.
Sorry, play it again.
Oh, yeah.
Part-time.
I talked over it. I apologize.
You're so good at that.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to explain that I'm trying my best to make the show.
Oh, I know. I'm
Mahoney
busting.
I don't like being part-time, but it's just... Stuff gets in the way. I miss being able to be on the show but also at the same time, maybe because I don't get to show up as often, it makes these shows even better because we try to get all of our shtick in before the hour runs out.
What's with this we? You are the king of getting your shtick in.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in terms of us, our dynamic.
Yeah, there is something to be said for that. You're right on that regard.
Yeah.
All right, before we get back into the news here, let's get to the look at the local scene. He's been hanging on very patiently, courtesy of Ed from Northeast Philly. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Good afternoon.
Ed, so great to hear from you, buddy.
OPW is the 4th anniversary rescheduled to tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, that was, they were scheduled for the 7th?
7th.
Yeah.
But because of the snowstorm. The MFPW was still running all that stuff, though.
Yeah, for those who still wanted their wrestling action and happened to be in the Jersey area anyway.
We've been to OPW before. It was pretty good. I liked it. I mean, it was, last time we saw it was Matt Tremont versus Jeff Cannonball. That was one of the big matches.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was funny because, it was deathmatch wrestling isn't exactly my thing, but I enjoyed the match because of the fact of, at one point he hits a baseball bat that has thumbtacks on it and flies off. So I just picked it up there was this girl that was almost in tears in the front row because she didn't. So I'm just hey everybody, I caught a thumbtack, and just souvenir, and it's tried to add comic relief because she looked horrified.
Yeah. It's certainly something different and interesting. Yes, very much a niche.
Niche, yeah.
Triple WA in Quakertown next weekend at the Farmers Market with 6:30 bell time.
Oh yes, some other friends of ours, the Worldwide Wrestling Alliance. It's been a while since I've been out there too. Yeah, with Dino Santa. Goodness, it's amazing how time.
Last time we were there, we did play-by-play, I think, and you were ring announcer.
Yeah, it's been an interesting go, and that you said that was at the Quakertown Farmers Market.
Yeah, Quakertown Farmers Market.
I wonder if that's the old Q Mart.
Or 6:30 p.m. bell time.
Oh yeah, that should be a lot of fun too.
National Pro Wrestling Day is the day before Super Bowl Sunday with a 2 p.m. bell time in the Northeast at the Wrestle Factory.
Wrestle Factory, that's in Chikara. That's Chikara's.
Chikara,
Yeah.
Chikara.
Lightning Mike Quackenbush. Good stuff.
Yeah. 4,700 win gate at the Wrestle Factory in Northeast Philly.
That should be the National Pro Wrestling Day. Always a fun and interesting event.
You been there before?
Well, no. I mean, just the grand spectacle that is National Pro Wrestling Day.
Oh, yeah. There's so much good. There's so much bad that it's good. It's like there's so much you can. There's a lot to appreciate about wrestling, the good and the bad, and
the ugly as well.
Oh.
SWF Mega Slam in Jackson, New Jersey, at Station 55. 7:30 p.m. bell time. Tony Atlas, Sandman, and Aldo Rose.
Aldo Rose, formerly known as Adam Rose from WWE
and I
fame.
think Vader might be on the card too.
Vader.
I heard him say Aldo, and there was a split second where I was hoping that following it was going to be Montoya. Yeah, no Portuguese man of war there.
That rat-faced knacker.
I think he's retired.
Yeah, no, he's although, I don't think he has ever any intentions of donning that red, the red, yellow, and green of the port. Oh, love the new generation era.
Yeah.
And Nick's Roast Beef next weekend has the same man for the Royal Rumble party.
Oh, very nice. Definitely becoming a growing fan of Nick's Roast Beef, thanks to their affiliation, their food truck affiliation with the Broken Goblet. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes.
Yeah, there was a. There was a.
He calls in.
Sorry.
You get plenty of chances to talk when you're here. Give Ed a chance here.
I'm sorry, Ed.
No, that's all right. I didn't want to step on anyone's toes.
It's just Lucas. You're fine.
Stupid idiot.
Yes! Can we please save that as a drop? I just made the list. I love you, Ed. This is fantastic.
I have a lot of cutting up to do with this show. Anyway, Ed, now that you've obliterated Lucas here, I'm going to cut off his microphone to give him a chance to recover. All right, go ahead, Ed.
Ryback is in Hazleton tonight with Shell Shocked.
Definitely shell-shocking without question.
And something about ECW I read online.
What would that be?
Like they might be doing a tournament.
ECWA, I think.
Like ECW or ECWA?
Or ECW.
Oh, Extreme though. Well, I mean, Vince has the copyrights to it. I don't know.
A reunion tour, I think I read something about.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, a lot of these guys are in their late 40s and early 50s now. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they tried it a few years ago with the Extreme Reunion and Extreme Rising and
Hardcore Homecoming.
Well, I mean, Hardcore Homecoming was
the one-off
12 years ago now. I mean, that's exactly. The Father Time is adding up on a lot.
I mean, there's still
things.
guys though that can still go. Like, I know Rhino's under contract, but Rhino, Tommy Dreamer. I don't know about. Actually, no. Sabu, I think, had to go under surgery, right?
Yeah. Sabu is not in a good way right now.
I'm pretty sure Shane Douglas is still wrestling occasionally. You know, I think Pitbull Gary Wolf is still wrestling too.
Yeah, I mean, there are some names out there, but
you could make a tournament. Maybe you could even introduce some people that like from the hardcore scene that you would want to see in a match like that. I'm not saying raid CZW's roster, but.
Well, it's more of the issue of, I mean, a lot of the guys from ECW's prime, I mean, you have to realize ECW's prime is now 20 years ago. So guys who were in their, let's say, early 30s then are now in their early 50s. It's pure, it's pure mathematics.
Well, also, I forgot about this. Maybe get some BWO action out of Stevie Richards and maybe Blue Meanie?
I don't know.
Maybe even get C.W. Anderson. I know he's doing stuff with the Extreme Horsemen, and definitely you could get Wild Bill Wiles, his tag partner, also a coach at the
at the Monster Factory. But I don't know. John brings up a good point on the Facebook fan page. Wasn't Extreme Rising the event people basically chanted Shane Douglas out of the building?
It was also the event where the promoter ended up screwing everybody out of their money. But
that was Extreme Rising. That was different.
I said Extreme. He was talking about Extreme Rising, right?
Extreme Reunion.
Oh,
that was
Reunion.
Yeah, Extreme Reunion
Extreme
was the one. Well, I was reading what was on there. I was about to correct it, but that was from late April of 2012, and it, as I said, it didn't. That was 5 years ago now, or closing in on 5 years ago, and things just didn't quite go as they. So I don't know. I mean, do you want to try to bring all that back with guys that are now 5 years older? I mean, I don't know.
For me, it would all be a perspective of do they even want to come back, and are they healthy enough to compete?
Are they healthy enough?
And even if they are healthy enough, can they put on a good match?
Yeah, it's one thing to put them in there, but another thing to entertain, and that's that's the other issue. So I mean, but that was there were a lot of different things. The show had a late start. There were some audio issues. I guess the less said about that, the better.
Yeah, that's about it.
All righty, Ed. Thank you so much for chiming in, and we've got one of our first caller drops. The
historic,
the historic moment in the show here.
Yeah,
and I was gonna say that pretty much put us all the way through the second segment here. I mean, as crazy as that sounds.
Could I just something real quick? Because he was talking about looking at the, Ring of Honor is going to be coming back to the 2300 arena for tapings for their War of the Worlds tour with New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
That was something I covered on the on Wednesday with my show, The Undercard.
Go ahead. This is your chance to cheap plug it. No, I shamelessly plug a bunch of different things, so I got to at least give you yours on this one here.
Well, unless
you want me to do that for you too.
No, I would like to plug my show.
Okay.
You know how we're available to listen to on the TuneIn radio app, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, every Wednesday from 5 to 6 o'clock. If you type in Radio Bucks, that's radio instead of it's BUX. That is a chance for you to listen to me talk about wrestling for an hour all by myself. I don't want to be by myself, but it's a situational thing. But yeah, I cover a lot of stuff from the outside of WWE, as well as Ring of Honor, New Japan, the British wrestling scene. It's a lot of fun. We even take a little dip outside the ring like we do in this show.
Yeah, we definitely go all over the place. We go all through the crowd and everything else. So we'll certainly see here. Oh wow, it's like a reunion tour here.
This is our Extreme Reunion.
Exactly, in a sense here. It's what happens when we're all back in studio.
The gang's all here. Take it away, Penny.
Exactly. So we'll get to that in just a moment here. But first, got to tell you about another first. A first at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Some might call it extreme seasonal creep, but the Goblet calls it first. Come try the USA's first pumpkin beer of 2017.
Wow.
It's called Cut the Crap-O-Lantern.
We keep talking about extreme. What is it? What's next? Are we going to somebody start breaking out barbed wire in the station? What's going on?
I have no idea. It's a 5.8% pumpkin porter available only at the Broken Goblet starting this Friday, January 27th. Draft and limited bottles are available. Plus, it's a frickin' awesome Saturday at the Goblet as tapping at 4 o'clock. I'm going to have to get over there for this one. Is a bacon
Calm down.
chocolate maple brown ale.
Okay, you know what? Calm me down. That sounds, I don't drink, but that sounds delightful.
It just sounds delicious. Exactly.
Just delightful.
Well, you can come along for the...
It sounds freaking awesome.
It does. You can come along for the great food from the Nick's Roast Beef Truck.
And you know what? I would love to, but I have homework.
Oh, yes. Of course you do.
I started the second semester this week.
Yep, welcome back to school.
Oh, back to school. It's Billy Madison. I'm not going to waste your time with that.
Plus, the specialty cocktail is the Cuckoo Cumber Basil Tino. It's a vodka martini with fresh basil, kiwi fruit, cucumbers, and jalapenos.
You know, that is great and all, but as a James Bond fan, I do have to ask, will it be shaken or stirred?
Well, it's your choice. You know, you can go either way. If you want to go, I mean, traditional martinis are stirred, but if you want to go James Bond style and go shaken, that's... There you go.
I'm already shaken because of the Tourette's, you know?
Yeah, true. No matter what, you get it shaken.
Yeah.
And new on tap, Breakfast in New Hampshire, a blended Scotch barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout with maple syrup and vanilla bean.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's all... Reasons why it's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Please enjoy responsibly. So we're going to come back here, and we've got a little friend who's going to be... who hasn't joined. Yeah, an old friend who hasn't quite been around, but making a return to the phones here, and... We'll see if we can squeeze in some of this look back at our new president here and his history in WWE.
That needs to be a thing, our retrospective on...
Exactly. So we'll see if we can... yeah, I know. So much time, so little to do. Here, strike that, reverse it, here on Pro Wrestling Weekly on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Your health is your most precious asset. Tune in to St. Mary Healthline Wednesday at 9 a.m. for advice on how to better manage your health. You will hear about important medical issues from the doctors and professionals across all service lines from St. Mary Medical Center. You'll have the opportunity to talk or email your questions to the experts who can help you live a healthier lifestyle. St. Mary Healthline, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. It's your health. Expect more.
All commentators heard on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management. Eagles fans, Merrill Reese inviting you to join me and a different Eagles guest every Thursday night, 6 to 7, for the Gwynedd Mercy University Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. We'll broadcast live from a Chickies and Pete's location near you. We'll break down the game and take a look at what's coming up for the Birds. Go to WBCB1490.com for location and special guest information. Can't make it to the show? Watch it live on WBCB1490.com.
Don't miss the What's Your Wealth Strategy Show with Mark Freed, the president of TFG Wealth Management, every Tuesday morning at 9:30 on WBCB 1490. Experience the spirit of giving when you enter Flowers by Jenny Lynn. Whether it's for a wedding, a birthday, or just an I'm thinking of you, Flowers by Jenny Lynn has the perfect gift. Feast your eyes on the bright hues of the season in their fresh flower department. They also carry a wide variety of flowers daily from around the world, including tropical flowers, wildflowers, roses, and seasonal floral mixes for every taste. Flowers by Jenny Lynn also carries unique gifts like gourmet jams, candies, and cookies. Serving the area for over 25 years, Flowers by Jenny Lynn is your Fairless Hills florist. Stop by their beautiful shop to see for yourself, located at 100 Trenton Road in Fairless Hills, or check them out online at flowersbygennylynn.com. Give them a call today at 1-800-547-4551. The number again is 1-800-547-4551. Flowers by Jenny Lynn, the art of fresh flowers.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, January 21. On this date in 1990, the WWF held its Royal Rumble pay-per-view. In the main event, Hulk Hogan won the 30-man Royal Rumble match. On this date in 1992, WCW held its Clash of the Champions 18 Supercard. In the main event, Ricky Steamboat and Sting defeated Rick Rude and Steve Austin in a tag team match. On this date in 1996, the WWF held its Royal Rumble pay-per-view. In the main event, The Undertaker defeated WWF champion Bret Hart by disqualification. On this date in 1997, WCW held its Clash of the Champions 34 Supercard. In the main event, Lex Luger defeated Scott Hall by disqualification. On this date in 2001, the WWF held its Royal Rumble pay-per-view. In the main event, Steve Austin won the 30-man Royal Rumble match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, January 21. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon, Derry, and Lucas DeSangro here, and a bunch of stuff going on in a very short period of time, including back on the phones, all the way from Chicago. We've got Dan from Chicago on the line.
It's true. It's damn true. I'm back,
It most
baby.
certainly is. My goodness.
What's going on?
There we go. We'll throw that in there as well in honor of, we're kind of tying things together here.
I was really hoping you'd play Sexy Kurt. That's like...
Well, no.
Legit. That is like one of the funniest segments I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I mean, John from Northeast Philly did ask, can we get the Kurt Angle theme out of one of the breaks? So this is my way to kind of get that in. And since he said, oh, it's true, that was just a beautiful segue. Me trying to put things together here.
Yes,
including, Kurt Angle taking his rightful place in WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2017, just before WrestleMania 33.
Well deserved, too. You know, it's funny.
I am hoping he gets the 27th spot in the Royal Rumble, and then we get AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he was saying in an interview he wanted to face Styles in his last match because he said with Styles, he does all the work. You just have to bump and feed, and he'll be there for you.
That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Or even like Samoa Joe too. I wouldn't mind. Both TNA.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of both of them over in TNA.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is, this is actually a fun fact, speaking of TNA, Sting and Kurt Angle, once Kurt Angle gets inducted, they will be the only two wrestlers to ever be inducted in the TNA and WWE Hall of Fame.
That's awesome.
That is an actual factual.
In there too.
What?
The Dudleys will eventually, you'd think, be in there.
Well, yeah, hopefully. I mean...
Yeah.
I would imagine so. They're on good terms and whatnot. Anyway, what's going on? It's been a while here.
Since I'm excited about Angle, and Mickey James returning, it just seems like things are starting to, be coming back with wrestling. And I've been listening to certain shows again and just getting I've still watching wrestling, but I'm getting back in the whole, listening to the shows again. And I must recommend I'm sure you guys know this show, Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson. Oh, that show is amazing. They go through all the past. Bruce Pritchard was Brother Love, and I've been listening to their show weekly, so they're really, really good. So
I will. Here's a shameless plug on our part here, and of course I've got to throw this in. The latest edition of Steve Austin's podcast has Danny Cage from the Monster Factory on there. I know that it's a little bit of homerism on our part, but
at the same time, though, it's
a good listen as well.
It is because Danny knows his stuff. And he and I, it's really cool the fact that he and Austin have been friends for a couple of years now. But it's really cool to listen to your coach talk about and drop knowledge that even you might not have even heard,
Or were listening to, in your case.
Not in my case.
Come on now.
Don't throw me under the bus that quick.
You're already 3/4 of the way under there anyway. I'm just applying the boot to get you the rest of the way.
We'll let the last quarter just go. I'm going to stop. That's going to sound really bad.
Let the last quarter roll under the bus? Is that what you were going for?
Yeah, and that was phrasing out the wazoo. Phrasing.
Yes. Good job.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so I don't know if you want to stick with us on this because this is a bit that we kind of had planned ahead of time here, but a history of our new president, Donald J. Trump, in the WWE, because it has been a very long and storied history, going all the way back to 1988.
WrestleMania 4.
Yes, Trump's Boardwalk Hall, as it was better known, but in Atlantic City, New Jersey, but known in WWE as Trump Plaza for advertising purposes, played host to WrestleMania 4 on March 27, 1988, home of the 14-man tournament for the vacant WWF Championship won by Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, it's funny because Boardwalk Hall, that was for WrestleMania, and now it's just where they hold house shows, and it's like, wow, how much has evolved from that?
Well, I think they've closed it down since then. Yeah.
Since when?
Or since a few months ago.
I was gonna say because that was 2 years ago. I went to we had tickets to the house show there.
Yeah, no, they've Atlantic City has
taken a hit.
They have. Although back in 88 and 89, it certainly wasn't, as Trump Plaza would play host 1 year later as the world would watch the mega powers explode. Yeah, I thought I had all my drops together, but that was the one that I didn't quite have.
Well, Lucas is here for the save.
For once.
I
suppose.
For once.
As the world would watch. The mega powers explode
at WrestleMania 5
on April 2nd, 1989. And also noted from that, well, of course, we would have Sean Mooney, who? Stumble his way through interviewing Donald Trump.
That's crazy.
Thank you, Gene,
President of the United
joining
States.
Donald J. Trump, the illustrious Donald Trump. And Mr. Trump, this is the second WrestleMania you have hosted in a row. Can you give us some idea what an event of this magnitude means not only to Atlantic City, but to the Trump organization?
Well, it's brought people from thousands of miles away. It's been fantastic. It's been unbelievable. The traffic, the numbers of people. We're really honored to be here and honored that you folks joined us. It's a great honor.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us. I want to ask you this, though. Have the casinos been busy?
They are packed. The whole town is packed. It's been a real boom to the town. It's been just a great thing and an unbelievable event. Everybody's excited. We're all enjoying ourselves.
Well,
and thank you.
I know I'm going to leave a few dollars in Atlantic City.
Well, I hope so.
Well, thanks again for joining us. While the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Hulk Hogan still have to worry about winning, it appears that Donald J. Trump already has. There are winners here as well. This capacity crowd thus far has gotten more than their money's worth.
So there you go.
Really stumbling through the interview.
Well, that's because I did a lot of editing to try to.
Wow.
Yeah, I did a lot of editing.
Well, that just goes to show how good you are. But I was going to say, his voice has not changed a bit. Oh, I have the best words. I cut the best promos. I do the best interviews.
Well, Trump would be interviewed 2 years later when present at WrestleMania 7 on March 24th of 1991, along with a parade of other celebrities, including Chuck Norris, Henry Winkler, and Lou Ferrigno.
What WrestleMania was that?
7.
Oh, I thought he's for some reason.
Stars and Stripes Forever.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be in a bigger stadium, but they couldn't sell the tickets, and they went in a smaller stadium.
Yeah, they made the excuse.
Were you
for
reading my
safety.
notes here? Yeah.
Yeah, they said that due to security concerns, which is code for we couldn't sell enough.
Well, yeah, that was what they were going. Yeah, but they were initially supposed to be booked in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, which would have 100,000 seats, but the poor ticket sales caused them to move next door to the L.A. Memorial Sports Arena with a paid attendance of 16,158.
But yet they sold out the Indianapolis Hoosier Dome the next year with Hogan and Sid. Give me a break.
Well, maybe Flair had something to do with that. Who knows? Anyway, here's another interesting bit. Later that year, Trump Plaza played host to another Vince McMahon event, June 15th, 1991, from Atlantic City, New Jersey, where the World Bodybuilding Federation Championship would occur, which, of course, was won by...
Here he comes, Jerry Stridham. Wow! Take a look at that.
Good old Gary Stridham. Wow. All right, Lucas is losing it here.
I love this show so much.
You got to fast forward 13 years before we see Trump again, as he would appear at WrestleMania 20, where it all begins again. And for time purposes, I'm going to cut out the interview with Jesse the Body Ventura.
Wait, did they cut that out of the network too? Because I'm trying.
No, they should have. They have that in there still. I mean, I've watched that 5-hour event.
Maybe that's why I don't remember it, because I've watched that paper.
Okay, well then, all right, we'll cut something else out for time and put this in.
Let me say this. What would WrestleMania be without Jesse the Body coming out and doing an interview with somebody? Just like 20 years ago. Now, where's my man? Who am I looking for out here to interview? Aha! Who is it?
Who's he looking for,
It's the star of the #1 rated TV show on NBC, The Apprentice. Oh yeah. The host of WrestleMania 4 and 5. None other than New York's own Donald Trump.
All right. The Donald.
Yeah.
I was governor of Minnesota.
Donald, great to see you. First of all, I gotta say the hair looks great.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right, Donald, you're here at WrestleMania. You hosted WrestleMania 4 and 5. What does WrestleMania mean to a man like you?
Well, it means a lot. I was involved with Vince for a long time. He's a great guy. He's done really an unbelievable job. I'm with my son tonight, and we're having a good time.
You're having a great time. Now, I got to ask you, now we get to the personal stuff, Donald. You know, if I were to get back into politics, could I expect your moral and financial support?
100%.
100% if I get back in politics.
You know that. 100%.
You know what? I think that we may need a wrestler in the White House in 2008.
Right.
Yeah. Donald, thank you. Have a great time. Let's get on with Mania.
Well, we wouldn't see a...
Of course I wasn't I wasn't president because of the New World Order. I'm not talking about Rothschild. I'm talking about Hogan, Nash, and Hall.
Well, we wouldn't see a wrestler in the White House, but it looks like 9 years later we would see a billionaire as the president.
And
as
a
opposed to the
WWE
vice
Hall of
president.
Famer.
You're getting ahead of me here. As well as a few other cabinet positions as well. But we would see Trump or somebody who looked a lot like him on the January 8th edition of Raw in 2007 when Trump, and I use that in inverted commas, took on his real-life rival Rosie O'Donnell, also in inverted commas. The real Trump appeared 3 weeks later on Vince McMahon's Fan Appreciation Night to drop large sums of money from the top of the arena to the fans in the crowd.
Which is also how he celebrates his birthday.
The following month, the two came up with a match for WrestleMania with the stipulations for the match being that they each had to choose a representative to wrestle for them, and the loser would have his head shaved bald. This match billed as the Battle of the Billionaires, McMahon picking Umaga as his representatives, while Trump picked Bobby Lashley.
Lasho.
And for time purposes, we're going to leave out the audio highlights of that, including a Stone Cold Stunner onto Trump, which was arguably not so good.
Yeah, not that it was sold. Luke, I guess, maybe. No.
Trump would return in 2009 in an unbelievable fashion, as announced by Vince McMahon, who had grown most of his hair back by that point, announcing that Donald Trump would be the owner of Monday Night Raw, and that the following week that Raw would be commercial-free. He also announced that he would give, again, there was audio there that we're cutting out for time constraints, Trump announcing that he would give a full refund to the people who purchased tickets to the arena for that night's show, where the announcement was first made.
But did he actually do that?
That's an interesting question.
And also, like, commercial free. Haha. No, it was not. He also was responsible for, like, the guest GM every single week.
Yeah.
I think that was, did he even follow up on that?
Well, the promotion would last only a week as McMahon bought back Raw the following week for twice the price. And that's why he didn't need any campaign funding money.
Classic.
Fast forward to 2013 when Trump was inducted into the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame at Madison Square Garden for his contributions to the promotion. And the following night, he made his 6th Mania appearance at WrestleMania 29. Again, more audio being cut due to time constraints because we've only got 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Which means it's just about, I was going to say, Dan, I know that we just had you, hang on there for that. Do you want to hang on with us for our other favorite segment?
That's fine.
All right. Of course, that means it's time for...
Birthdays.
There we go. Very forceful on that one. On this date in 1925, Arnold Skolland was born. The WWE Hall of Fame wrestler and manager passed away in 2007 at the age of 82. Skolland, best known for managing then WWF champion Bob Backlund during his run in the late 70s and early 80s, and who infamously threw in the towel on Backlund's behalf when Backlund was in the Iron Sheik's camel clutch, Bubba, on December 26th, 1983, ending his lengthy title reign.
Yeah.
On this date in 1941, Joseph Bednarski was born. The WWE Hall of Famer and former WWF Tag Team Champion known as the Polish Power Ivan Putski turned 76 today. Or if Denny were here, he'd make a joke about something about Ivan Putowski, but that's a whole nother...
Jesus.
That's Denny O's sense of humor. On this date in 1962, Brian Curtis Hildebrand was born. The man best known as WCW referee Mark Curtis passed away in 1999 at the age of 37 due to stomach and bowel cancer. And a quick funny story from WCW, he also earned the nickname The Shooter after a fan attempted to interfere in a match between Psychosis and Dean Malenko in a September 97 edition of Nitro. As the invading fan slid under the bottom rope, Hildebrand, who happened to have glanced over just as the man jumped the guardrail, kneed the fan in the face and placed him in a guillotine choke and held him there until WCW security could take him into custody.
Now that's a security guard.
Tony Schiavone and Bobby Heenan found this amusing, with Heenan observing, "The smallest referee in the world just took him down." Gotta love Bobby Heenan's commentary.
Hey, some of those referees are no joke. There are a lot of referees that wrestled before.
On this date in 1971, Vanessa Bosman was born. The former WCW Nitro Girls dancer and wrestler valet for WCW's Filthy Animals stable known as Tigress turns 36 today. 46 today, I should say. I couldn't get my math right on that, or had a typo, one or the other. And 46 today for Tigress. Maybe she still looks 36, who knows. And on this date in 1983, Maurice Mizinen-Willette was born. Ooh. The former two-time WWE Divas champion and current manager in WWE of her real-life husband, The Miz, turns 34 today.
Hey, that's...
I love what she does out there for him. It's so great.
Yeah, she really does a great job. It's the A-lister, The Miz.
The A-lister, The Miz.
He said trying to keep a straight face.
Yes. And the Brucey bonus on this date in, something outside of the world of wrestling. On this date in 1940, Jack William Nicklaus was born. The legendary professional golfer nicknamed the Golden Bear, who has won more major championships, the 4 annual tournaments, the Masters, U.S. Open, the British Open, better known as the Open Championship, and the PGA Championship. More than anyone with 18 major victories, turns 77 today. So how about that? Happy birthday to the Golden Bear. Anyway, my goodness, how time flies when you're having fun. We'll be at the MFPW Arena next week. Dan, good to hear from you. It's been way too long. Don't be a stranger.
I'll be around more so with WrestleMania coming up and all that kind of good stuff. And the UK tournament was really, really good, too. I watched that last weekend as well. I'm sure you guys talked about that. That was pretty cool, and I hope they do more stuff like that, too. So
plenty to get into here. Anyway, I got to get out of here before I get in trouble. I'm cutting into the little bit of time here for Ted Efaw's Country Roads before we've got high school basketball in about 13 minutes or so. So until next week, play us out, Nutsy.
1 o'clock in all's well.
Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WBCB.